Hey, how are you guys doing today? It's Christopher right here. Today I'll be explaining you guys with this chemical formula right here. So we're given this chemical structure, right? So we need to name this, right? In order to name this, there are a couple steps we have to go through. First of all, we need to know the order. So we're gonna go either from left or to right, or right to left. So if we take a look, so this is a double bond right here, right? So, and this end right here is just like oxygen, methyl oxide. So if you note what the order, the rankings, so we're gonna start from left to right. So left, which is 1, and this is a 2, 3, and 4, and this is a 5. So there's 5 bonds in total. Actually, there's actually 5 things in total. So if we refer to the chemical formula sheet, what we have is pentane. So PENTAN. That's the name for pentane. And there's this thing in front of pentane, which is a side chain, and behind the pentane is the main chain. So let's do step by step. We can first figure out what the side chain stands for. So for a side chain, which are these few pieces. So if we take a look, so for the side chain, we have the basically this part over here and this part over here. These two parts, we call it dimethyl oxy. And the reason why we have di is because the prefix itself means 2. So in this case, we have 2 methyl oxy. Methyl, which means it only has one bond right here. This is why we call it methyl. Oxy is because we have the O, which is the oxygen. So this is how we name this thing. So just quickly write this down. Dimethyl pentane. And lastly, we are going to go through the main chain. So main chain is a little bit slightly complicated than the side chain we have over here. So, by the way, for dimethyl oxy, if we take a look, it occurs on the 3rd one and the 5th ones. So we need to add this 3-5. And this is one of the tricky part that where everybody, for those people who kind of fail the exams or the test, so you have to keep notes on that one. Later we have the main chain, right? So main chain, like I said, is slightly different and more complicated than the side chain we have in front of here. So for the main chain, what we're gonna do is basically, so we have over here, right? So basically, we need to figure out what the rest of those stands for. So if we take a look in the top, there's 2 ketone, which is what we learned yesterday. So Keton, let me spell this for you. Keton. So Keton, which is these two little thing over here, we call it Keton. And so there's there's a suffix that's for specifically for Keton, which is everything that ends with O and E. In this case, we have two of them. So what do you call this? Di on. And if we take a look for this one right here, we're missing it hydrogen, right? And we call it aldehyde. So these two are very similar, but if we take a closer look, there's still a difference. Just so you know that. And be careful when you're on the test. You have to make sure the differences. And this part is where you need to use the suffix as al. In this case, we only have one, which is single one. So we're just gonna use al in this case. So let's go back here. This is the main chain, right? So what we have right now, pentane. What comes after pentane? -1 al, and the al is this one right here, because al is basically more important than a Keton. So we put it should be the other way around. So least. So for main chain, it's just from least to the most important ones, and the side chain is the other way around. So al is less important than the Keton. So we put negative -1 al over here, and later we have 2 and 4. And where we get the 2 and 4 is over here. Here's the 2 and here's the 4. And later we'll have di on. And this is the final equation. My apologies for make this little too too messy. So just gonna simply write this down again. So answer to the question earlier, we have 3-5 dimethoxypentane -1, al -2, 2, 4. And there's also di on. If we take a look here, we shouldn't put a comma in between a number with a word. So we just simply do it like, actually this is the way how you do it though. So negative. So let me repeat what I just said. Question to the previous example. Answer to the previous example, which is a 3-5 dimethoxypentane -1 al -2, 4 dion. And this is the final answer. Thanks for your listening, and hope to see you again soon.